Chasta for 1077 The Bone and Soundwaves TV on the line with James Durbin. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
I am great, thank you. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this July 5th.
Yes.
It was a doozy last night. We had fun. It sounded like a
Yeah.
war zone out here in Watsonville, but yeah, it always does. So at least it's nothing different.
You're kind of right in the middle of playing like I don't even know, 3 or 4 gigs in this week, I think, something like that.
Yeah, this is definitely, if anybody out there's ever done musical theater, this is what's referred to affectionately as Hell Week, which is when everything converges and all the pieces are like have loose ends and everyone's just losing their mind, except
Yeah.
I am the director, the producer, the star, the writer, the composer, the actor, the actress. I'm all the moving pieces. It's a one-man show, but it's not because I couldn't do it without the support of all my bandmates, and then of course the people that I'm sharing the bill with that are also doing promotion and everything on their end. So
Yeah.
it's all sorts of fun. But I'm definitely my hairline is creeping back a little bit more this week.
I feel you. I'm starting to get lots more silver these days. You know what? I always find myself when I get into this chaotic mode where like everything's happening with radio station and everything's happening with some and there's so much going on. I'm like, I must love my life like this. I'm the one that creates this mess. Like I'm the one that's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a thing. Let's go. Let's go. So, it's good. Like we like this chaos, this entertainment world chaos, I guess.
Exactly. I definitely agree because I mean I'll be honest, I've been on the other side of it many times. It's not easy, it's not fun. It's hard work
Yeah.
to want to be your own boss, to want to be a
Yeah.
self-employed working musician or work in the music industry because sometimes that next gig check isn't guaranteed, and even if it is guaranteed, it's not guaranteed to be as much as the last one. So
Yep.
yeah, this has been a roller coaster career. But I think I just heard a quote. I think it was Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know if it was just directly from an interview or from a movie or a monologue, but it was if you live an ordinary life, all you'll have is ordinary stories and memories.
Oof, that's so good. So true.
So yeah, it's all been and wonky, but I, I, you know, my wife and I, we bought a house. We have 3 kids. We have been making a go at this. Yeah, I'm busier than ever, and yeah, I try to like make it that way every year now that I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not gonna be that schmuck that's like, where's my next gig? Whose warehouse can I work in discreetly?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I work with Peloton now. I've got a Peloton bike over here. I'm the lead game designer on, or level designer for their game Lane Break on bike, and we just launched on Tread, so I do that full time, and then on top of it gigs every single weekend, and on top of that I'm a Frontiers music SRO recording artist with my band Durbin, my band Clean Break, and whatever else they put me on with Alan Parsons or Magnus Carlsen's Free Fall or what have you. So it's constantly working,
That's
constantly
amazing.
building, and building upon the the previous build.
It's interesting you say that, James, because here in the Bay Area, I mean, you're in Santa Cruz. You're from Santa Cruz. Do you live in Santa Cruz currently, or in that area, general area?
Yeah, Santa Cruz
Yeah.
County, Watsonville. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the Bay Area, one of the most expensive places, I mean, quite frankly, in the world to live, if you're going to be a
Yeah.
musician, you got to do all that. You have to diversify. My husband, who we have a lot of connections to go through. So my husband is in State Line Empire that's playing on the
Hmm.
bill on Friday. And we own a music center here in the Bay Area. And,
Right.
he has inside that music center, he has his rock camp kids. He teaches private students. He has, his shop, his drum shop. He's got rehearsal spaces for bands because you
Wow.
have to have all these like income streams coming in to even freaking make it here as a musician. I mean, it's not easy, but I have to assume it feels damn good to be a working musician, but also in one of the toughest areas to survive in an industry like that. It's
Absolutely.
huge.
I mean, a lot of littles makes a lot. A lot of
There you
littles
go.
still equals a
Yes.
lot. So
Yes.
wherever it's coming from, I've done voiceover work. I've done
Yeah.
radio commercials. I've written jingles for dispensaries. I've
I
all
love it.
like all across the board. Anything you can imagine. Children's music. Voiceovers for Disney and Amazon. I've got the Turbo Man action figure from Jingle All the Way, and my voice is
Yes.
inside there. So
That's awesome.
like just all these different things that converge together, and yeah, I mean it's amazing. I commend anybody that can, but it's that can do it, but it's also that I wouldn't be able to do it without my wife by my
Yeah.
side because she
Yeah.
makes all the proper decisions and
Yeah.
rightfully so. So, I'm sure it's the same way on y'all's end as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of decision making, and it's a lot of pieces to put together. I don't know
Hmm.
if I'm sure you don't remember. It's been, God, I think it's been like 12 years ago. I was trying to do the math. So you and I interviewed you in LA. You were on American Idol in like 2011, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was like a year or two after that, and it was either the American Music Awards or the Billboard Music Awards. I gotta find the picture of you and I, because we look like babies. Like we look so young, or like cheesing it up. I'll find it. It's really,
Did
really.
if you remember what outfit I had on, I can definitely tell because if it was the Billboard Awards, I had on like a recycled outfit from Idol, which was black and had chains, and I had like
That
black
sounds right.
and blonde hair,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was wearing Ellen underwear. Um,
That's
because the little girls, the little tutu girls from Ellen were there, and they
yes,
were like,
that's right.
"He's wearing Ellen knickers."
Yeah, I remember
So
that. Okay, then that's what it was.
cool.
That was the time.
Yeah,
That's so
12
funny.
years ago.
Isn't that crazy? I know. Yeah.
That is crazy. And it's so funny to me too because like all the different things that I've done, he said humbly. Um,
Yeah.
but like I don't look at them as like these are all the things I've done. I look at them like these are all the things that I've done. Like I don't feel like the same person here today
Yeah.
as I was then.
You're not.
Like in my mind,
Yeah.
physically, like appearance wise, like it's and it's so funny like just exiting from um that boiler room that was American Idol, and like I love all my experiences from it. Don't get me wrong at all, but like it's it can change you, and it definitely changed me. And so like if I met myself from then, I probably would have punched myself in the face. Like get it together, buddy. This ain't it. This ain't
This
all there
ain't
is.
it.
This ain't real. This ain't real.
Yeah.
Like just calm down, take a couple rings off. You're not Johnny Depp. Let's remove some
Uh-huh.
bracelets and some necklaces. All right.
Nothing
As much
wrong with rock and roll
as much
jewelry.
as you'd like to look like Johnny Depp, it's not happening. So
That's that is never a regret. That's no, that's good. I mean, that's interesting that you say that. There are some people that come from American Idol, that don't really talk about it, or don't want to talk about it, or don't want it to be like part of the story or a big part of the story. Um, Before I even mention how I feel about that, how is that for you? I mean, it is part of your story.
it is my story indeed. So there's I'm not shy about it. I put it on posters. I put it on if
Yeah.
I mean I was there. Again, the internet is a thing.
Mhm.
Apparently, and
Yeah.
so is there some things that I'd like the internet to forget? But that's not one of them. So like
Yeah.
I love my time on Idol. My studio's an absolute mess because like I said, we're it's Hell Week.
Yes.
But I think I have an American Idol, a backstage American Idol pillow
That's
right in my
fantastic.
studio. I gave it to my mom once upon a time. She had to move.
That is
But
hilarious.
yeah,
Did they give you that, or did you steal
I think
it?
I stole it from like a room, like a backstage room at
Yeah.
like an after party or something.
That's so funny. I haven't, truth be told, I haven't watched Idol in a really long time, but back at that time I was religiously watching it. And I remember when you came on and I was like, finally a rock dude. Like I was so
Thank you.
excited because it was like, I mean, you can sing anything and you do sing anything and everything, but it was so clear that you love metal, you love rock, you can sing your ass off, you could see your influences. And it was just such a nice breath of fresh air for somebody who, like me, who, was raised on rock. And we don't always necessarily see it in the front of
Hmm.
those types of events, or even going back to award shows. It's not
Yeah.
always well represented. So it was a really big deal to see you on that show singing in the way that you were singing. It was freaking awesome, man. So it was a
Thank
good
you.
launch pad for you, I think.
It was great for me. I mean, I was delivering pizzas just before I auditioned, and the story goes I asked for the days off to go audition for Idol, and I was told I couldn't have them. And
Yep.
a day before the auditions, the owners called everybody into the back kitchen. There was people there that weren't working that day, and they said, "We're running our business on no money, and we're in debt, and we're fleeing the state." And they fully were like, "We're fleeing the state, and you're all out of a job tomorrow." And on one hand, I was like, "Oh crap," and on the other hand, I'm like, "Oh, idol
Sweet.
auditions are tomorrow. I was gonna quit anyway." So like,
Chills. Like that is the universe
yeah,
working in your favor. Maybe not their favor,
exactly.
but definitely in your favor.
In someone's favor.
Yeah,
There's a quote from um there's a quote that I'm gonna butcher. But it's from
that's quite all right.
it's from the Bishop T.D. Jakes, and forgive me, Bishop, but it's something about you step out on faith and do it.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
if there's nothing else, just step out on your own faith and do it. Because
Yeah.
what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna
Yeah.
fall. You pick your ass back up and you get back on the horse or whatever it is, the dragon in this case. So,
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
get
it's
back on the
funny.
dragon and you slay the beast. That's what
It's
we do.
true.
Heavy
You know,
metal. That's
going
all
back
there
to the
is.
ordinary life. I mean, I'm a yes person. I'm always I call it making the choice to live the bigger life. Like when you
Mm,
say yes, you're living the bigger life. You're going into it. It's very easy to live in a safe space. It's very easy
mhm.
to just do, you're 9 to 5, you're making good money, you're doing your thing, you come home, you watch TV, you have dinner, and you do it all over again. And that's just never what I wanted to do. And I can tell you're
Mm-mm.
the same. I just wanted those bigger experiences. Like if we get to do this once, I'm going out in a blaze of glory. And I know
Yeah,
you're the same.
even if you get to do it once, you still got to do it.
Absolutely.
So
That's
like
right.
I got to go to WrestleMania on the WWE's dime. I got to in Miami. Like I got to do this, I got to do that. I got to go play there. I got to go to these places, and like I went to Italy for like 30 hours to go play and, play a rock fest and record a live album. Like
Dude.
different things. Like, yeah, it's am I going for 30 hours? Am I being paid any more than I would normally would? No, but get to go to Italy, get to run around the city for 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
go right back and play a show all jet lagged, and then fly home.
And it
It's
makes for
just
a
like,
great story.
exactly. There's like, I could literally talk about that trip for an hour plus, because there's so much there, but it's
Wow.
like just different things. Like, yeah, it's if there's an opportunity and it's something you've never done before, and you feel it in your heart and your soul, then why not do it? And I mean, to get back into promotion and
Yeah.
work my way all the way back around, that's what I'm doing with this Durbin show Friday at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz. Is
Yeah.
this Durbin as a project was conceived after I left Quiet Riot and Frontiers Records,
Mhm.
which is the label that QR was with. When I was with them, we did 2 studio albums, 1 live album, and when I had left the band, they decided to sign me and not re-sign Quiet Riot. So I took the deal, and one of the things, 2 of the things, was to do a solo album and then a kind of a super group.
Mhm.
The solo album being Durbin. I was like, I
Yeah.
want to go by my last name. I want to do a metal band. I want to do it like Halford, like,
Yes.
like, exactly, and like Dio, and like I want to write these songs of wizardry and all this stuff that I love, and
Yeah.
all this nerddom and nerd fandom and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I love it so much, and heavy metal is like that perfect, like, place for it. It's the realm for it. So um I was gonna write with different people and kind of like rest on their talents and what they're best at, and just write lyrics and melodies. Then the pandemic hit, and so I was stuck,
Mhm.
trapped alone with my guitar and my laptop, and opened up Logic sessions and just messed around and was like, okay, I'm gonna write all these riffs. I've never been a riff writer. I've been like just chord based acoustic player. And so here I go, boldly go where many men have gone before. So, and women. So,
Yes.
like, to go and just once again taking a step out on faith and doing it. And I wrote something that I was extremely proud of. I
Yeah.
wrote all the songs all by myself right in the pandemic, hired a bunch of gut friends to provide solos, and we put it out in, I think, 2021. And then, touring was still not an option back then, so it was like contractually obligated to release the album. So we didn't play our first show and our only show to this point till last August in San Francisco with Enough's Enough.
See.
And so I play all the time. I play kind of sub gigs with a bunch of different bands in the Bay Area. I also do acoustic stuff. I also play with my own cover band, The Lost Boys. Like I said, a lot of littles makes a lot. So,
Right.
and some of those littles are a lot. So a lot of lots make, and with the littles and whatever, you get it. So,
Yep.
it's mind numbing, but um, I really want to have something that is mine.
hmm
Because
hmm
even with my cover band, The Lost Boys, we've been doing it for almost 9 years, but it's not our music.
Right.
So I'm sitting on a record. I just finished writing the second album, and we're in pre-production on second Durbin album. So I called my band up and was like, I want to play a show. Do you guys want to play a show? They're like, absolutely. What we've been waiting for you.
Yes.
So it makes perfect sense to do it right here in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first one of many to come. We already have the second one booked, and I want it to be, it's not necessarily the most active thing going, but at least once a month.
Yeah.
If not more than that, because this is my baby,
Yeah.
and
And it's yours.
it's
It's
mine,
absolutely yours. Yeah.
and I've got cool merch, and I've got, a great band, and thank you. My wife's
I
dropping
love how
tacos.
you really do go all in. I mean, some of the videos, you're doing the sacred grapefruit and the whole thing, which is just I love it. I absolutely love it. Because it is fun. It's whimsical, it's wizardry, it's all these things that we love so much about, like you said, Dio is a great example of that. But you really went all in, and I loved when you went on Instagram, or that's where I saw it on Instagram, when you were developing the show. You're like, who should I play with? And I thought, wow, that's so badass, because you've got a platform, and it's very cool of you to like reach out and go, who's down here, not down, you know what I'm saying, who's out there that
Yeah.
I could pull onto this, and who do you want to see? And I just thought it was, I don't see that from people of your level and stature a whole lot, and it was really refreshing. I thought, what a cool idea. And just no ego, no bullshit in it. And it was, I thought that was really neat. So props to you for doing it that way.
Thank you. That was just kind of a off the whim kind of thing. Yeah, I was just sitting here and trying to find bands and trying to find who would make sense to do this with, and not only just make sense from a musical standpoint, but also like a locale standpoint
Right.
of also, if you never know what relationship is gonna stem from it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know. So once again, taking a step out on faith and just doing it. And
Yeah.
if it fails, and we try again. If there's some magical spark with some of the bands involved, and it's like, oh, well, we came out your way, would you come and support a show with us? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we do. And I grew up here in Santa Cruz, and there's like, to me and to my bandmates who were involved in the scene when we were teenagers and, young somethings, like,
Yeah.
we're like 10, 15 years removed from it, but like, to us, there's like, where did the scene go? It was so
Yeah.
strong, and it was so unique, and it was so supportive that you would see bands of all different like subgenres of metal or hard rock like playing shows with each other. You'd
Mhm.
have the psychobilly bands playing with the power metal trio.
Yeah.
You'd have like these alternative rock bands playing with, just whoever, like the emo bands. And it was just like, it was so supportive, and friends helping friends, and just creating a musical community.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's like the big picture here. Of course, we can all just say, well, we want to reignite the fire of the local scene in our 30s and 40s.
You're speaking
um
my language, bro. That's what we're all about.
yeah, so it's like, to say it out loud, it sounds like heavy metal parking lot, just sounds kind of funny, but
Yeah.
like, it's meant with such love and passion, and something that we got to experience as kids. And so, like, to be able to plant the seeds to hopefully make that happen again for the next generation of kids, and the next generation of musicians in their garages, just sucking at it
Yeah.
and getting better, and all of that. Like, it's really cool. Like,
It
you're
is
like,
cool.
yeah. It's
The
fun.
Bay Area has gone through, I mean, everything ebbs and flows, right? Everything's on a pendulum and it swings back and forth. But I've been here almost 20 years in California, and I've seen different phases of the local scene just in that amount of time. But I mean, God, you look back in the Bay Area and it's generations of music, and it's this beautiful musical quilt that
Hmm.
comes from such a special place. And I'm not originally from here. I'm from Southern Oklahoma, where there's not much of a music scene out in the sticks. So I'm super grateful to be here. And I mean, that's why whenever we started Soundwaves TV with the local program 5 years ago, and there wasn't much happening 5 years ago. And I'm here to say now shit's happening. It's popping. Things are changing, and you're seeing a lot of bands reach out and book and really support and show up and share on social. Go see these guys. Go see these guys, and it's just so refreshing because there's such an amazing group of people. Speaking of you, we have more connections. You have Phil Dimmel and Chris Jericho on one of your songs, which
Yes.
I love. And I'm friends with both of those guys. I was just rocking with Phil Dimmel last night. The Merkins played a bone party. We had a co-hosted a party, I guess, if you will. So how do you know Chris and Phil? Like, how did that all come together?
I met I met Chris when I was on Idol. Chris was on Dancing with the Stars the same season that I was on Idol, and they
Yeah.
film in the same studio. Like basically the same building.
Yeah.
Like if you take our Zoom boxes right here and like both of them together is a really long rectangle, and there's that little line in the middle that divides our screens,
Yeah.
like that's your screen is Dancing with the Stars, my screen's American Idol. So there's just
Wow.
like a little hallway that runs between them, and no one from one show would go over to the other show. Idol people certainly never went over to see Dancing, but when Hulk Hogan came out and told me I was going through onto tour and onto the rest of the voting rounds, in the top, what was it, the top 11, brother?
Yeah.
He and then he delivered a horrible, horrible kayfabe punch to Ryan Seacrest,
Yes.
who took it, jumped out into the crowd, and shoot elbowed his security guard in the face, and he got a huge black eye. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it's Hogan. Hogan knows how to work it, but so
Oh,
does
yeah,
Ryan Seacrest.
it's true.
Um, but yeah, so Chris came over the very next day and was like, "Hey man, what's up, wrestling fan? Saw you with Hogan." I was like, "Dude, legit, like full on marking out. My favorite wrestler of all time walks in the elephant doors in the studio and is like, 'What's up, James?'" I'm just like, oh,
That had to be
oh,
like a boom
oh.
moment for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bonkers. Like it's bonkers. It's super
And
bonkers.
he's
And
so
so
cool
like
and laid back and chill. I mean, I don't, worship in the world of wrestling like you and Baby Huey. But I do obviously do know, and I love him as a singer. I love Fozzy. But he's just so chill when you're hanging out with him. He's just like, he's Jericho, but he's just chill. It's so crazy to me.
exactly, he's just Chris,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
so we were hanging out a lot at that point. He would be sneaking me I would be sneaking away from the Idol hotel, going out any back exits, maybe setting off alarms, I'm not sure.
I love it.
But we would go to the Rainbow on Sunset,
One of my
and
favorite places in the planet. Yes.
we'd go sit at the Ronnie James Dio booth eating
Yeah.
mozzarella sticks, and like
Yeah.
we
They
went
have the
to
best pizza in the world.
yes, we'd be like, there's the mayor of Los Angeles, Ron
Yeah.
Jeremy. And then we go to Boa Steakhouse with some of the other wrestlers because he was with WWE at the time.
Right.
And yeah, and so famously we snuck out of famously in my head we snuck out I snuck out of the Idol hotel. He picked me up behind the hotel in a rental car. Apparently he got to the rental car place late, and they had some like Cadillac, like some 1992 Cadillac. So Chris Jericho on Dancing with the Stars, James Durbin on American Idol, um both at like the height of our performances.
Right.
We're in this bogus rental car that should not have even been put on the lot. Um, we're driving down Hollywood Boulevard. We go to the Hollywood Bowl. We go and see Stevie Nicks and Rod Stewart.
Oh,
After the show, they would not let us go through like the easy tunnel access, and so we had to walk out with everybody. And the lights come on, the floodlights come on, and people are just like,
what's happening?
James Durbin, Chris Jericho. But like Chris will tell you, it was just like people had blinders to Chris, and he's like, "But I'm Chris Jericho." But and they're like, James Durbin. Like I lost a shirt that night. Like people like
You lost a
grabbed
shirt
like,
off your back?
oh yeah, like a flannel or something. And it was crazy. It was madness. It was like the second most Beatlemania that
Well,
I've
that's the
ever
power of American
experienced.
Idol. That's not really a surprise. It's
And
crazy.
then we finally make it out to the car rent or the valet, and the guy pulls up the car, and the back trunk of Chris's 92 Cadillac
Sketchy
rental
ass.
car is all like smashed in, like they ran into like a light pole or something. So Chris is about to beat the shit out of this valet guy who's telling him, "We have footage of you guys on Hollywood Boulevard getting in an accident," which is totally bogus. And then I had bought a Rod Stewart t-shirt at the merch booth, and so we like were able to like Jimmy rig tie the trunk shut with my Rod Stewart shirt enough that we could drive back to my hotel, where I just had to, shamefully walk through the front doors past security, and they're like, "James, what? Oh, you're back. Whatever. Go
It's
to bed."
fine. Did you get in
That's
trouble
fine.
for that?
No,
Wow. Dude,
no,
that is a freaking epic story. That is
no.
amazing.
Yeah, and then so to circle back around, I met Phil Demmel at a Fozzy show in San
Okay.
Francisco,
Yeah, yeah.
and we
Phil is
both got
such a
up.
gem.
We both got up with Fozzy and did TNT.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
so great. Yeah, I love that both Phil and Chris are on that song together. It's just a trifecta that's just out of this world good. I love those guys. And Phil does a lot with the Bone. We've done a few Merkin shows at this point. So it's all kind of a family vibe, you know.
I've been trying to make one of the Merkins shows. Phil always asks me every time there's
I
one,
was
and I'm
gonna
always
say,
like,
when are you
"Dude,
gonna
I'm
hop up there?
booked.
I
I'm booked." It's yeah, it's a curse and a it's a double-edged sword. There's places I'd
yeah.
like to be and friends I'd like to be jamming with too, but it's
Yeah.
man, it's hard to fit them all into one.
Yeah, we're just gonna have
Especially
to
this
clone you.
week. Especially
Yeah,
this week. I gigged
exactly.
yesterday with the Lost Boys and then back into the hell week of
Dude.
rehearsal today, rehearsal tomorrow, show Friday, wedding Saturday, winery Sunday.
Woo!
Yeah,
I
and
love it.
and
That is
three
an
different
action-packed
sets.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Well, Friday, I will be there with bells on. I'm considering this my birthday show. It's a day and a half
Nice.
before my birthday.
Nice.
My birthday's on Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and rock out for myself
Awesome.
for my birthday. So yeah, Friday, July 7th at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz. Want to make sure I get everybody right. Stateland Empire, Phantom Witch, and War Corpse. A hell of a lineup. Do you do any covers with Durbin? Because you do so many great ones on YouTube, and I'm always blown away by them.
As of now, we might throw one in. We might throw in something from Judas Priest,
Yes.
possibly the Ripper from Sad Wings
Oh,
of Destiny. Possibly. We'll
okay.
see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna be playing, considering we've only done one show thus
Right.
far, we're going to be playing uh, two songs from the first record that we've never played before, which are "Calling Out for Midnight" and the epic, the 7-minute epic, "A Rise to Valhalla."
Yes, the
And so,
Odyssey.
yes,
Yes.
so we're going to be playing both of those from the first album. We're going to be playing 4 brand new songs that will be included on the sequel to The Beast Awakens. So
Fantastic.
those
And
are
when will
very
that
excited
album be
about playing
coming
those.
out?
We're in pre-production right now, so it won't be out till next year. But
Okay.
I'll
All right.
also simultaneously, I'm working on a second Clean Break album, which is the other band that I
Yes.
project that I have. So, like I said,
I think
always
your middle
always
name is
working.
simultaneously. It's like I'm
Yes,
doing this.
James simultaneously Durbin. Yeah.
I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I love it. I think it's freaking great. Well, I am so excited about Friday. I want to make sure all of our boneheads know to go out, rock out, Santa Cruz. We're spending the night, so we're making a whole weekend of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, may drop by the boardwalk the following day. I don't know. Have some Santa Cruz fun, right?
Absolutely. Hey, the boardwalk, you can always have a beer can in like a paper bag. So
Right? That's
you
the
can just do
beauty of the
that.
boardwalk. It's
Like
like old.
holding your baby's hand and like
Yeah,
drinking a beer in a paper bag.
that is my style. I was there for my
Yeah.
birthday last year, and I'm going to be there for my birthday this year. It was unintentional. It's funny because my husband, he was like, "Hey, babe, I think we're booking this Durbin gig," and I was like, "Cool, when is it?" And he's like, "The 7th." I'm like, "Year number 2 in Santa Cruz for my birthday. Let's go."
Right on.
I'm
Hell
very
yeah. Well,
excited.
we're honored.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Stoked to celebrate your birthday.
And I believe Baby Huey's going to be out there as well. So we'll cheers and we'll have a great time on Friday.
Awesome. I appreciate it so
All
much.
right.
It's like I said, taking a step out on faith and doing it, putting out that post, asking around for bands. Everybody that is on this bill were bands that were either suggested or came at me on their own, and so it's I'm just really really excited. I've never been this excited about a show in recent years as I am right now. Um,
Dude, that's
I'm
rad.
just it's I get to build something and it's mine,
Yeah.
and I just feel so happy about it, and
Yeah.
have a great humble band and great humble folks coming out to play the show with, and that's what it's all about, you know, no egos and just great music and great energy and great vibes, and you know, there's something for everybody at the show, which is
Yeah.
something I'd like to continue doing after this one. We
Yeah.
kind of have a metal menagerie, you know, a night of metal.
Night of Metal.
Night of Metal
I
with a
love
K. It's a
Yeah.
K. It's a Knight.
Like
Knight.
a Night of Metal.
We'll see. I
Oh,
might bring the
dude.
sword of metal out. I
You gotta. You
might bring
gotta.
the elder wand. I'm not sure. It's gonna be an amalgam of things. So
Oh my God, I
so
can't wait. Well, for everybody who wants to know any of the simultaneous projects that you're doing, jamesdurbin.com is like a catch-all, right? For everything.
JamesDurbinOfficial.com. Yeah. But there's
jamesdurbinofficial.com.
another James Durbin out there that
How dare him?
he's relentless. Yeah.
Is he
There's a
really?
there's a bunch of those assholes. I don't know. I thought I was James Durbin. Like, what the hell?
No,
I've
you
met
are
James Durbins
the.
at shows before where they come up and show me their ID, and I'm just like, well, assume the position.
Yeah, right.
This is
Yeah,
like the end of Rockstar. Like, here you go, Miles Kennedy.
exactly right.
You
I'm
take
gonna
the
pass
helm.
the mic to you,
Yeah, yeah,
dude. I if I were you, I'd be like, I dare you. Try it. Just
yeah.
try to hit those notes. We'll see how that works out for you. All right. Well, we'll see you Friday, brother. Brother, we'll see you
Brother,
Friday.
yeah.
We'll be there and we'll have a blast.
We'll be yoked up. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, yeah. The Tower of Power,
Oh my
too
God.
sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place. Ah, yeah.
He's gonna freak
Madness,
out.
madness, freak out. Yeah, yeah. Wow. You're going left, I'm going right.
Oh my God, you're the best. Thank you, Jay.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of
Appreciate it.
course.
Good talking to you. We'll see you Friday.
All
Peace, love.
right. Sounds good.
Metal.